Welcome to the DAPS Magic Live. I am Mr. DAPS, and I'm joined by my fantastic team from all across the United States, actually. Let us know in the comments if you can hear us now. We're hoping that is working. And it will be an interesting night, that is for sure. So we are joined by Katie, Cameron, Murray. Go ahead.
No, it's working. The sound's
I heard
working.
us.
Oh, good. Katie, Cameron, Murray, Mikey, and did I miss anybody?
Nope, yourself.
Myself, yes. So we had this fun intro that we did before, but none of you could hear it. So we're just going to skip that and get right into the fun stuff this time.
You don't need to know who we are.
Yeah, no, it's all okay. So Katie, you're going to tweet this out, and then I'll retweet it for you if you don't mind.
I'm tweeting it right now.
Thank you so much. But tonight we thought, since Sundays are usually our day in the parks, and I'm saying parks plural because we have multiple parks on each end of the country or each coast that the various members of DAPS Magic frequent. But I thought it'd be fun to talk about the parks, some of our favorite things in the park, some of our favorite memories, and then some of our favorite ideas for things we'd like to see happen in the parks in the future. And if this goes well, we will probably do more of these in the future because we all love to armchair quarterback, Imagineer, whatever you want to call it. And it could be kind of fun. So first off, what I'd like to ask, and let's just go by... how can we do this? I was going to say height, but there's no way that's going to work. How about by letters of the alphabet, alphabetically? So Katie, you're going to go first. What was the first time you went to Disneyland?
I don't know.
Like, you can make a guess. You can do first time or first time you remember.
So first time I remember is traumatic. I didn't like characters. And I am the youngest of 4 by a lot. It's like my oldest sibling is 14 years older than me.
Yeah.
And so I was the subject of a lot of playful teasing. And so
just a little bit, I'm sure.
I very much remember going through town square and every 2 seconds my siblings being like, "Look, it's Mickey Mouse," just to scare me.
So you were scared of Mickey Mouse your first time going to Disneyland. Good start. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I remember. I know I grew up at Disneyland. There's also a infamous story about me watching Electrical Parade with my grandpa and making myself fall asleep again because I did not want to see characters.
Were you really falling asleep, or were you just pretending to fall asleep?
No, I was angry, like shutting my eyes that I didn't see anything, and then I made myself fall asleep.
Okay, cool.
I don't remember any of this, but I grew up from a very young age at Disney parks. I just don't necessarily remember it.
Okay. Cameron.
So my earliest memories of Disneyland, I was a little bit more out of the area. I lived in Northern California growing up, so it was much more of an occasion to come down. I did come a couple of times when I was younger, though not strong memories of that other than they had a really, really awesome Goofy hat that they no longer make. That was like, I'm sure made of like plastic and cancerous materials, and they no longer sell, but it was awesome, and it had a big squishy nose on it. I came for my high school the grad night. They actually did a grad night for us, but it was miserable and I absolutely hated it, so I don't count that as a time. Grad nights have been the bane of my existence for a long time for many different reasons, but yeah, so really going young was the only memory, and then my wife and I moved down to work for Disney. So there was a gap.
And so where is the first really positive, happy memory you have of Disneyland?
Oh, it was positive from the beginning. I don't mean to disparage it. It was, because it was so much of an occasion, it was a family trip if we were doing it. And so a few hours in the car, and coming down was always fun.
Okay. Mikey, let's hear from you next.
All right. Well, as far as my first time to, a Disney park, let's say, it's hard to recall. I just kind of grew up going to Disney parks.
Must have been rough.
Oh, yeah. It was just so hard. So, but there's just so many memories of things we've done in and around the parks growing up. So it was part of my life. It was just a thing that we did. And so, I mean, there was some dark years in between after, in my teen years into my early 20s where I didn't even step foot into a theme park, but we don't talk about those times. So
I thought you were about to be like, yeah, there were some dark times. I would ride Space Mountain 15, 20 times a day.
no,
Just real dark, man.
Splash Mountain.
Dude, Space
dark
Mountain
as
Magic
in-
Kingdom is dark.
That's
That is
true.
true.
But yeah, no, dark as in there was no theme park joy in my life at those times.
How unfortunate. All right, Murray, you're up.
The earliest that I went to a Disney park was Disneyland. I was 1.
Wow.
Distinct memories of that?
Yes.
I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
I actually do. I had these weird nightmares for a while as a kid of this big giant eye looking down at me.
As in the Eye of Sauron, or?
No, just an eye.
Okay.
So it wasn't until later on that I realized that was Adventures Through Inner Space. My mom loved that ride. And so I am pretty sure that she dragged me on there more than one occasion, because the earliest was 1, but I know that we probably went when I was like 2 and 3 and so on. So yeah, I have a few nightmares that have been induced by my parents dragging me on rides. So there we go.
Okay. So here's my next question with this is, do you go back and watch the YouTube videos of that attraction now?
Oh, I've studied it. Yeah.
So you're okay.
I'm not saying that I don't like any of it. I'm just saying there's been some nightmares that have been induced. That's all.
Okay. Well, that's a memory. We're gonna move on to me, I guess. And I came to Disneyland first time when I was 6 years old. So was anybody? Yeah, everybody was there before me. Is that right? And I did not live in the state, so my trips were few and far between until I started visiting here more frequently because family moved out here in 1995. And since then, I have been an annual pass holder. Yes, keep snickering, Katie. And have many fond memories, but I would actually echo one that was Cameron's, because the old Goofy hat was one of the coolest things. And I can distinctly remember my very dignified grandfather buying a Goofy hat that would match the Goofy hat he purchased for me. And then we watched the electric parade wearing our Goofy hats. And I know, it's an image, huh? And anyway, so that is one of my favorite memories from back in the day. And so then let's pivot forward a little bit. What are some of your favorite things? You can have 3, kind of a fast 3. What are 3 of your favorite things in the parks on any given day now? Katie, you can go first because you made a face.
I was really hoping you were going to call her out for that one.
Yeah, she made the face and it was just like, oh, she's going.
If I know anything about Mr. Daps, it's that you should not make eye contact or make faces, except you're also in trouble if you don't make eye contact, because if you're very pointedly not making eye contact, it also, yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So you have to furiously glance back and forth between the ground and Mr. Daps.
That is it. And then something else. I don't know what it is, though.
3 favorite things on a daily basis? I don't.
What are the 3 things you've got to do while you come to Disneyland, like your checklist?
Okay. Walk around, look at flowers, take pictures. That sounds like a joke, but it's kind of true. Now there is a daytime parade back. I will say daytime parade, like for sure, because I'm a small child and I like pretty colors. So daytime parade, always walk around, because people watching at Disneyland is unmatched. You can see whatever you want to see at Disneyland. It's wild. And then take pictures, because even if you just have an iPhone camera, or if you have a DSLR or whatever you want to do, there's a lot to take pictures of at Disneyland. And so I'm mostly self-taught on my DSLR with a lot of help from Mr. DAPS. And it's been really fun to bring it out at Disneyland. So that's it.
Very nice. Mikey, how about you?
That is tough.
I know.
Well, I would say, wow. First, take the monorail to Epcot. 2, ride Spaceship Earth. And 3, walk around World Showcase. That would be it.
Those are great answers.
Yeah, that would be my
Agrees.
top 3.
I think those are great top 3s. Then we'll just move on down to Murray.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
Eat some food. 3, just a wild card. I'll see what ends up being low lines, or if I just want to look through the gallery, or if I want to ride the train around. Pretty much anything.
Okay. And Cameron.
3 things. It's current list of the things that I do. I hit up Galaxy's Edge. Because that has become my really the first thing in the morning thing. If I'm going, I'll go wander around. That's not to ride the attractions. It's just to
be there.
Just to be there.
Yeah.
And then my other big checklist items while I am there are to get food. And I would pick a specific place, but that's the problem. I do try to rotate throughout the park. Specifically, I like going to dining locations that aren't super upscale, but aren't walk up either. Cafe Orleans is a really good example, where it's a sit down. It's still not going to break the bank for you going there, but you have somebody bringing you refills and you can sit for a while. That's number 2. And number 3, if I've got the time and chutzpah to stay late enough, to get over near New Orleans Critter Country and watch fireworks.
Oh, fireworks. Not fan, huh?
No, I try to avoid that area as much as possible. It's a really good show for me. If I have guests from out of the area, it's definitely worth watching it with them. But the benefit of watching the show is kind of outweighed by my desire to not sit still for a couple of hours.
Okay.
So yeah, that's really, it's a great show. There needs to be a little bit extra juice behind me wanting to stick around.
So favorite nighttime spectacular, past or present. We'll just go down the line as I see them. So it'll be Cameron, Katie, Mikey, then Murray. Go.
Favorite nighttime
spectacular.
Spectacular. I don't know if this counts, but it is in the evening. I like when they close Toontown. If you've never experienced it, it is wonderful.
That would be a nighttime thing. How about spectacular? Like
so
the
it
shows
has to be an attraction. Okay.
So thinking like Phantasmic, fireworks, electrical parade, paint the night, stuff like that.
Depending on the time of year, the fireworks, the 60th fireworks specifically is what comes to mind, because those were my cast member fireworks while I was an employee of the Disneyland parks, and I was working in Fantasyland at the time, so I got to watch the fireworks show pretty often, so it has a special place for it.
Very nice. And Katie?
Remember Dreams Come True, specifically the 50th anniversary edition of the show, but Walt Disney World Happily Ever After. Those two are solid. Cannot compete for me. Like it's unfair to make those compete for me.
Okay. And Mikey?
I have to go with Phantasmic.
Which version?
I've never personally seen the Disneyland version, so I'd have to go with the Hollywood Studios version.
Is it still 1.0 at Hollywood Studios?
Well, that's the original 2.0.
That's right. Okay.
And Murray?
My favorite, I have a whole separate, rankings and stuff, but my favorite is Reflections of Earth.
That's a good choice.
It's very good.
That's the one at Epcot, right?
Was it Epcot?
Was.
Correct.
Was. Mm-hmm.
It's not the one that is behind me right now, but
those are fire kites.
They are fire kites. They're awesome.
But that's a good show too.
It
Epcot
is.
Forever. That was it surprised me how much I enjoyed that.
I want to see it.
I'm going to go with Phantasmic 1.0 as my favorite nighttime spectacular of all time. There's something incredibly magical about hearing thousands of people cheer on a mouse because he beat a dragon. And there's just, even when he first appears, when Mickey first appears at the beginning of the show, everybody just cheered. And I've never heard that level of enthusiasm in any show for any one moment as I've heard for those two moments for Mickey Mouse. So that would be my favorite. I'm seeing in the chat here, we've got nominations for both electric parades, both Paint the Night and the Main Street Electrical Parade. Bailey enjoys going to Disneyland and getting coffee, Mickey beignets, and Haunted Mansion. Excellent choice. Jeff likes to walk around the parks, enjoy scenery, and people watch as well. And Haunted Mansion and Pirates. That's more than 3. But that is okay. I'm just being a stickler. Disqualified. You're gone. No. But so next question is, and actually we'll go one more. Favorite parade of all time, current or past? And I'll lead off because there's one correct answer in my world, which means you guys can have your own answers. And I would have to say it's Parade of Dreams for me. That was the best parade and just magical beyond belief. Cameron, you're next.
Due to a recent guest on Geeks Corner, I now know about a secret society that worships armadillos. So that is going to be my favorite.
Katie?
Okay, I've never seen Parade of Dreams because okay, so here's the thing. I was very, very young during the 50th. Not very young. I was like 9. But my family was a full like, hey, when the parade's going, let's go on attractions. Like, let's go on Space Mountain.
Which is a good tactic.
Yes.
I've done that.
Yeah, that was fully what we did. And we would catch fireworks at the end of the night, which is why I remember dreams come true so much.
I'm glad you
remember.
I was gonna say just remember, and then I was like, oh, it's not gonna work. So I'm gonna say favorite parade is currently Paint.
Okay.
Because I love Paint, and also the 60th anniversary was just magical.
It was very cool.
I've also tried to watch Parade of Dreams, like YouTube videos of Parade of Dreams, and it's so hard. Like,
why?
It's very difficult to watch because people have gone at length to try and put all the show stops into one video.
Oh, got it.
And so it's hard to just watch a run through of the parade because people have put in every show stop, and it's.
Well, I've got good news for you. I just found the other day, and I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, one of our videos that we shot on our old original HD camera that was like yay big, massive. And if I can figure out how to somehow download it, we will have that up on our YouTube hopefully soon.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
All right, Mikey, I believe you are next.
Well, that's another toss-up. There have been so many great parades, but I have to give it to Spectrum Magic.
Oh, good choice.
Strictly for the soundtrack alone. That would be my favorite, absolutely, of all time.
It does have a very magical soundtrack, and I sadly only saw it twice, but definitely really enjoyed it. And I liked how it was similar but different to Main Street Electric Parade and had its own personality and voice. And yeah, that was a great parade. All right, Murray.
My favorite has been Spectrum Magic. My
2 for that, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's a wonderful parade. So.
And did you have a second one you were going to add or no?
I was thinking about, I think current would be Paint the Night.
Okay, Paint the Night's a pretty good parade too. All right, so last question before we pivot to the future is your favorite attraction of all time. And this is, you don't have to give any explanations. We'll just go down the list. Cameron, Katie, Mikey, and Murray. Favorite attraction, go.
Indiana Jones.
With Indiana Jones Adventure said, I will say it's a small world, but Indiana Jones Adventure is usually my number one.
Okay. Mikey?
Journey into Imagination.
Oh, that's a good choice. Oh, that's a really good choice. Murray?
Pirates of the Caribbean Disneyland version.
Oh, that's a good choice too. And I'll say the Disneyland Railroad because that's a shocker for everybody. All right, so let's pivot to the future now. I'm going to ask similar questions, but I want to hear what you would create if, first off, you could create a nighttime spectacular. You can have fireworks. You can have a World of Color type show. You can have a Fantasmic type show. You can have something completely new. What would you do? Just in a very big picture, this is what I'd like to see. Idea for a nighttime spectacular. Does anybody have any great ideas that they're itching to go first?
I am itching to go first.
You can go first, Cameron. Everybody else will thank you.
My concept is a fireworks show that is decades based. So you start with snow, or actually you start with Steamboat Willie, and then you go decade by decade with highlights for each section in the decade, which of course, as you get closer and closer to modern age, you will have to put a little bit more time in. One, because there's more. Two, because they're going to be closer to memories. I'm just thinking of the crowd reaction when you start getting into the 90s and
Yeah, that's cool.
It's going to be pretty impressive. And of course, in my version, the top of Matterhorn would have a projection of Quasimodo holding up Esmeralda and screaming Sanctuary. It would be very good.
Of course it would. All right, who's got another one?
I've got one.
All right, Murray.
And I almost joked about this. Not this exact thing will be my future thing, but I almost joked that Light Magic would be my favorite nighttime spectacular. But,
Okay.
No, I think that Light Magic had its problems, but that it was maybe too early for its time. I would actually do some kind of nighttime spectacular that incorporated a parade. And you could also do some water projection somewhere. It could, stop there and do something. So you get the parade going, but you actually have the parade stop, and that actually does something pretty spectacular.
So you're talking like a mix between like a parade and World of Color and the projection show from like Mickey's Mixed Magic? Is that what I'm hearing?
I wouldn't say projection like Mickey's Mixed Magic, but I would say more maybe stop World of Color. I think you need...
Okay.
You can't have maybe projections like they do Mickey's Mixed Magic exactly. I guess you could. I'd say either or, but I think World of Color is more spectacular for
I agree.
projections.
It's beautiful.
Murray, we all know you just want Mickey's Mixed Magic. You can just say that.
Okay. Just Mickey's Mixed Magic all the time. All
over the park. The entire park.
Giant Mickeys everywhere. Techno music. Yeah.
Just at all corners of the park, you just hear, "Are you ready to dance?"
No. It's, "Are you ready to dance?"
All right. Mikey or Katie, who wants to be next?
I am inspired for another World of Color, just because I feel like it's been, 8 years since World of Color's debut, and it's mostly the same, minus one scene. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what necessarily it would be, but Colors of Pixar at Pixar Night kind of got me inspired. That I want to see something different at the Bay, and it doesn't even necessarily need to be water projections.
Okay.
It can be I would love a not midday, but I'd love a throughout the night smaller show like what we saw at Pixar Night. Just using the colors of the Bay. And
so maybe not
music.
A full spectacular, but just a spectacle.
Yeah, oh my gosh, why am I suddenly blanking on the name? But the Goofy show.
Yeah, those were fun too.
Yeah, something like that, but at night, so it's kind of at a grander scale with all this music and the lights and the dancing water. I just think it's very, very pretty, and that would also be an opportunity to get more.
And they could use the music that they've already got put together for the old Dancing Waters show that used to be at the Disneyland Hotel. Does anybody else remember
you're
this?
Onto something here.
I almost wanted to say we should just have the Fantasy Waters show.
I loved the Fantasy Waters show. That was such a classic show back in the day. All right, Mikey, what do you got?
I think it would be fun to have something in Galaxy's Edge. And maybe it have the first half of it would be using the drone technology and kites that they have used for the newer nighttime stuff. To do, simulate a dog fight over Black Spire Outpost. And then maybe the second half would be fireworks with the like a victory celebration kind of thing. That's something I think would be cool.
I think that would be very cool as well. And then for my answer, I would create a show that would go over the entire Disneyland resort. So I remember when they were working on Remember Dreams Come True for the 50th, one of the things you always heard talked about was how there were going to be fireworks shot off from every corner of the park, and it was going to completely surround you. And things changed a little bit, and so we never truly got, like, we got that if you're on Main Street and in the hub, but like, I love the idea of a completely immersive nighttime spectacular. So what I would do is I would do, like, take the Remember Dreams Come True fireworks show idea where it surrounds the park, do that, then also include Disney California Adventure, sync them up together, use the World of Color fountains, fireworks in the other park, projections on Main Street and anywhere else you can possibly get them, and call it Journey into Imagination, and pull in from the moments of imagination from the Walt Disney Company Stories Bank. So yes, you'd have Figment, but you'd also have Mickey, and you'd have all of these other moments where people's dreams came true. And I think it would be really cool because it would take away the ability for people to do the double dash kind of thing where it's like, oh, we saw World of Color, now it's run over to fireworks, or vice versa. And you'd get a different experience depending on where you were at in the two parks. So like, you could clearly have a completely different projection experience in Hollywood, the Hollywood Boulevard area of Disney California Adventure versus over on the Rivers of America. And I think you could connect them, but you could really make something absolutely fantastic and blow people's minds. And to me, that's the level of imagination and magic that only Disney could do. And so they should do it.
Hear me out. That show, but have Dreamfinder and Figment host it.
I'd be fine with that. That'd be great. I actually think it could be them and Mickey Mouse, because I think Figment has to be in it.
Yeah, well, Figment, I just think that Figment and Dreamfinder specifically would be a very good host for that because,
okay.
You know.
Where are the Dreamfinder auditions? I'm just curious.
We need a
I think
Dreamfinder.
you should be first.
We need Dreamfinder back.
We need Cameron to be that
I
for
agree.
Halloween.
That would be a sweet Halloween costume.
That would be epic.
Let's do it. I'll dye my hair purple. I'll be Figment.
I was going to say, do you want to be Figment?
Yeah, I'll
there
dye
you
my hair
go.
purple. I'll do it.
I just want a puppet that's Figment. That'd be pretty cool.
You could
all
be
right.
my puppeteer.
That'd be cool. So now let's pivot over to parades. If you could create any themed parade, what would it be? And does anybody have an idea that they'd like to lead off with?
I mean, I do, but I don't know if I want to keep going first.
You're going to go first then, because everybody else is looking away.
All right, hear me out. Paris.
In springtime?
Yes. No, but the Festival of Fools would make a sweet parade. I'm just putting that out there. You have a big show moment with Clopin leading the parade. It would be awesome. And then you have the dancers led by Esmeralda, and you have goats, and just all the costumes they already have in it. It's done. The parade is done. The parade is ready to go. And you can have confetti at different parts. And you can even have Judge Claude Frollo walking along, looking disdainfully at everything that's happening. It'd be perfect. And there's no better answers.
That's fun. That's fun. Who else has an idea? I think Cameron's would be a lot of fun.
Okay, so it's just Dreamfinder and Figment. That's the parade.
Okay.
No music, no anything.
They just walk up and down Main Street.
They're
okay.
They're
They
just
still
walking.
block the street like normal, just
Yeah.
like.
I mean, don't we need to bring Dreamfinder and Figment to the West Coast? I mean,
We
I'm just
do.
saying.
No, and that's part
I
of my
would
reasoning for putting them in the show that you suggested, because West Coast has no real connection to Dreamfinder and Figment.
Mikey, what were you going to say?
I was going to say I totally agree with that. We need to bring Dreamfinder back. # bring back Dreamfinder.
Bring back
Yes.
Dreamfinder.
We
What's
need-
Figment without Dreamfinder?
And we just need more celebration of imagination,
Unanimated.
especially today. I think that's just crucial. All right, Katie, was that really your parade?
I don't have a better idea.
Okay. And there we go. Mikey.
I've got nothing.
You have to say I've got plenty of nothing, but that's okay.
Plenty of nothing. Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay. Murray, do you have an idea for a parade?
I've been partial in the past to Fantalusion, which is basically Phantasmic on parade. I'm not saying that exactly, but I think something with a plot. As you can tell, I'm fond of the nighttime parades. So I think some kind of nighttime parade that actually would have that story as it unfolds would be pretty fun.
Plot parade.
I don't know what
awesome.
it would be.
I like the concept of a plot parade.
It'd be
It
cool.
could just be called
very
Plot
interesting
Parade.
plot
And
parade.
it would be really cool to see the dragon from
Plot parade.
Clap, clap, clap.
Festival Fantasy come here.
Okay.
The cyborg dragon?
Yeah, well, we were talking about Phantasmic on parade.
Right.
And then I was like,
the cyborg dragon is the one you're referencing.
Yeah, the steampunk fire dragon.
So I would like to see Disneyland get back into the movie themed parades where parades come out
awesome.
that are part of the promotion of whatever movie's coming out. So I think isn't there a dragon movie coming out that I'm spacing the name later this year from Disney Animation?
It's the Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yes. So you could do that later this year, or maybe at the beginning of next year. And you could have I just think it'd be fun to do and way more expensive than I can imagine them wanting to spend right now, but continuing to just always have a new parade as opposed to having the same parade for 6, 8, 10 years. And I think that would really help change the culture at Disneyland a little bit, just because I think as Disney fans, we all get very comfortable with what we're used to and what we see every time. And parades don't necessarily have to be one of those things that's always there, like the Tiki Room. Like Tiki Room, always got to be there. Castle, always got to be there. Parades, they have a history of changing and coming up, being a place that Disney can really innovate and try new things and test out new characters. And I'd like to see that a whole lot more. I think the infrastructure of it is already there. They've got great dancers and choreographers and all those things. It would literally be how can we showcase this new property or this new movie that's coming through floats and maybe some cool puppets and stuff, especially the dragons. All right, is that everybody for that one? Okay, everybody got quiet. All right, so here comes the big question. You have now been given the keys to create a new Disney attraction at any Disney theme park of your choosing. What would be your idea? Or what would be the start of an idea? And is everybody agreeing that Cameron's going first again?
Step 1, hire someone with really good earrings on one side.
True story. All right, so what would you make, Cameron?
So full-scale land, is that the idea?
It could be just an attraction, or you could do a land.
I'm going to dredge up an actual idea they had that was going to exist and then got the kibosh, which is a villain's land. That was a real idea that got a certain amount of traction and then got canceled for other things. I believe California Adventure was part of that cancellation. But yeah, and in Oops, All Villains Land, I think would be excellent, especially if they decide to go the route and make it not necessarily. I think they've realized the value of a bit more older theming to things. Certainly not lose the Disney edge of it, like not go full Not Scary Farm on the thing, which has an audience and is totally valid and valuable, but not Disney. But having something where like having alcohol available in the park, a little bit more free roaming like it is in California Adventure, having character interactions more free roaming like they are in Galaxy's Edge, having attractions that have a bit more of a thrill edge to them like Guardians, but a bit more concentrated, I think would be really fun.
Cool. Katie, what attraction would you like to create?
I would just like to say that I respect Cameron's really intense dedication to Knott's Berry Farm, to the point where he even said Knott's Scary Farm. He did not say Knott's Scary Farm.
The correct way.
Yeah, there's Cameron can tell where you're from if he just listens to you say the words Knott's Berry Farm.
There you go.
Sorry, how was that? Do you want to repeat that one more time?
Knott's Berry Farm.
Ugh.
All right, what attraction would you make, Katie?
Okay, so I was always the kid where I would see a Disney movie and I'd be like, that would be a great roller coaster. That would be a great whatever. So what I want is Emperor's New Groove, Wrong Lever Kronk. And it's a roller coaster.
Okay.
Right in the dark.
Yeah, because whenever they pull the wrong lever, they go on this whole crazy roller coaster, and you could
do anything with it.
You could retheme Rock and Roller Coaster to be that type of thing.
I feel like you could also take the Indiana Jones attraction over at Disneyland Paris and do something with it also that would kind of fit in that realm, because they've gotten that adventure vibe with it as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be super fun.
I'm all for it, and also with the smell of spinach puffs.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Who would like to go next? Mikey, do you have something?
I'm racking my brain to think
Okay,
of
well, let
something.
Murray go first, and then you just say what you would like to go on. That would be fine too. All right, Murray, go for it.
The problem is I don't know if I want to say. I'm trying to figure out which ride. I've thought of a lot of different ones.
Just
the problem is once you say them, they can't ever do them because you can't. There's a technicality with Imagineering. So just by the way, they can't ever do these now that we say them. So
well, unless they don't hear it, and then we're okay.
No, it gets weird. Anyway, I think I will go with, because it's been hard for me actually to develop the concept fully, and it could easily change. I've thought of first Shanghai Disneyland for the Pirates Land. I'm forgetting the name suddenly of the Pirates Land, but
Adventure Isle.
Adventure Isle is their Adventure Land. That's where Soren's at.
Oh, you're right.
Treasure Cove.
Treasure Cove. Yes.
So I actually thought of a version of a Haunted Mansion for them could be a nautical museum, in that, so sort of Mystic Manor where things are coming to life, but a nautical museum. A big thing I thought of would be if there's some spectacular way to do like a painting of a seascape with a ship, and suddenly the ship comes to life and it actually like pulls you in. So it's a giant painting, your vehicle actually starts to go through, but at first it looked purely like a painting. That's all I really had. That would be the interesting part, and then I couldn't think of more.
But then you could really go anywhere with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could go Haunted Mansion, you could go Mystic Manor, you could go anything, and the sky's the limit. That's cool.
The sea's the limit.
Or the sea's the limit. That's true. That is very true. All right, Mike, did you come up with anything?
I think so.
Okay, we'll run with it.
Yeah, I think I would like to do something maybe like a walkthrough attraction / show with Indiana Jones.
Okay. Like an interactive kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of like that. You would go through different rooms and scenes and things.
Kind of like in the castle in the second one?
Yeah, something along those lines. I don't have all the details ironed out, but something like that I think would be pretty interesting.
Indiana Jones experiential walkthrough attraction.
Indiana Jones escape room is what you're saying.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Yeah, something.
I would
like
spend
that.
the entire attraction bent 90 degrees at the hips, walking around him to be like, "What are you doing?" The penitent man bows before the Lord.
Well, you're not wrong.
Good call. I would.
It starts with an I.
That is true. That's very true. I would, if I had all of the capabilities in the world. I don't have this fleshed out in any way, but I would touch the sacred cow that is the People Mover track in Tomorrowland, rip it out, and create a new moving attraction of some sort that I don't actually care, but
that goes really fast and you're racing.
No, it just has to create movement to the land, because I've always felt that Tomorrowland is at its best when there's movement happening. And so I don't actually care what that movement is, but I think it'd be really cool to return to that world on the move in the future kind of a thing for Tomorrowland. So this is kind of a Tomorrowland dream, and it's kind of a whatever a new People Mover type thing would be. It could even be, yeah, I don't actually have any ideas for this. I just think it'd be really cool to rip it out, open up the entrance to Tomorrowland a whole lot more, and just create that movement happening in Tomorrowland that I think always makes it such a special place.
I feel like every vision of the future always has people tubes, like
You could do the Incredibles thing.
They did in Futurama, and they didn't like. It'd be really interesting to see them make like an encasing system so you actually go horizontal through tubes. Like that would be fun.
Yeah, I like that. I'm hopping on to the chat real quick, and I see we got a request for Tron at Disneyland. Also an agreement that Villains Land would be cool. Mike would like to bring up a Gummy Bears quick tunnel ride with cars shaped like the original ride, which would start like It's Tough to Be a Bug and then be a roller coaster. Or then the roller coaster would start below ground and launch upwards like a typical thrill coaster with at least one inversion and a few corkscrews.
Is this the Gummy Bears television program he's referencing?
I believe so.
Have you recently listened to the theme song to the Gummy Bears? It slaps.
There you go.
Super good.
Yeah, I was just like, I always liked it, but I thought you were going to say something was wrong with it for a second.
No, it's awesome.
All right. Well, we did it, guys. We came up with our favorites from the past and our favorite hopes for the future. We hope you've enjoyed this DAPS Magic Live. We apologize that it took so long to get it going. We hope you'll come back again, though. Take a moment to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, find all of us on Twitter because we're all there somewhere. And you can just look us up and you'll find us. But we hope you've had a fantastic Sunday. We hope that we will see you again soon. And we hope that we can turn this thing off without getting too confused. But we will see you soon. Make it a great week, everybody.